In this video, we're going to continue building our site. In the previous video, we created the site, we named it, and we renamed our first page. Now we're going to use the skeleton that we have already developed to continue adding pages to our site. And if you have a site skeleton or an outline before you start creating your site, it will be very simple to build the pages in your site. So here's my skeleton for Mrs. Krabappel's website, and now I need to start adding these pages. So if we go back to Mrs. Krabappel's website, we can see that we have one page currently in our sidebar. Now by default, when you add pages in a Google site, it will automatically organize them in the sidebar alphabetically. And we don't want that. We want to be able to organize our pages into these different sections. So the first thing we're going to do is turn off that automatic navigation feature. So back on Mrs. Krabappel's website, in order to do this, I need to enter Edit Site Layout mode. So I'm going to go to the More button, and I'm going to choose Edit Site Layout. Now once I enter Edit Site Layout, you'll see as you hover your mouse over different areas of the website, they become clickable, and that indicates the portion of the site that you want to edit. So we're actually going to edit the sidebar here, so we're just going to click in this area, and you'll notice that we have some different options here, and this is the option that we're after. By default, it says automatically organize my navigation, and what that means is when you create a new page, it will alphabetize it in the sidebar over here. Well, we don't want that, so we're going to uncheck that option to turn that off. Now for Mrs. Krabappel, we're going to have some different sections in our sidebar. So these sections here are going to become areas of our sidebar. So in order to do that, we want to display the title in our sidebar. Now we don't want this first one to be called Navigation, we want our first one to be called About. So this is going to be information about this particular site. So we're going to delete Navigation and we're going to type About. The other option that you want to look at here is this one right here, a sitemap. A sitemap is basically a map of your website. It includes every page in the website and where they're linked to. If you have a well-organized sidebar, there is no reason for you to have a sitemap link, so we're going to go ahead and turn that off, and we're going to click OK, and we're going to see what happens to our sidebar now. So you'll notice that we now have an About section, but this welcome page is no longer displayed in the sidebar. Because we turned automatic navigation off, it removed that. So each time we create a new page, we're going to have to go and add it to our sidebar. So we're going to click on the sidebar item that we want to edit, and we're going to select Pages to Show. We need to add a page. Now here you can look at two areas. The sitemap again is every page listing in your site, or My Recent Changes will be the most recent change that you made to the website will be at the top. So either area, right now you only have one page to look for. We want the welcome page. Go ahead and click OK, and you'll see that the welcome page is now listed in the sidebar. You'll notice here that you have some arrows so that you can move pages up and down within the sidebar, and you can indent them or decrease the indent, or you can delete the page from the sidebar altogether. Now if you do this remove the page, it only removes the page from the sidebar. It does not actually delete the page from your site. So let's go ahead and click OK here, and we should see in a minute that our welcome page is now in the About section of our website. To exit out of Edit Page or Edit Site Layout, you're going to click the Close button here. So rather than Save, you're going to click Close. And so now we'll see our sidebar starting to take shape with the About section and the Welcome page that we have here. This is the first page in our site. The next thing we need to do is start creating our pages. So if we go back to Mrs. Krabappel's world, we'll see that the first page that we need to have under the About section is a bio. So Mrs. Krabappel is going to put some information about herself on that page. So we'll go back to Mrs. Krabappel's world, and we'll click the New Page icon. Alternatively, you can hit a C on your keyboard to create a new page. So we'll go ahead and click New Page. And this is works kind of like when you created your site. You want to keep your page names short. So this first page is going to be called Bio. So we'll go ahead and put that. So notice I didn't spell out biography, I didn't capitalize anything, because remember, whatever I put here for the name of the page is going to affect the page URL down here, and I want to keep that short. So bio is fine. Now there's a variety of templates that you can use when creating Google Sites, and they are listed right here. You have announcements, filing cabinet, lists, and a start page. I generally build every page as a web page because that gives me the most customization options afterwards if I leave the web page as the default template. So I'm going to leave that as the default template, and we're going to go ahead and click Create. Once the page is created, it will enter in edit page mode, so you can see you've got your text cursors here. Now here is where you can actually change this from the short name that we gave it to a longer name or something that makes more sense than just bio. So I'm going to go ahead and change this to biography. And again, here we can go ahead and use the capitalization. We can go ahead and use punctuation if we want to in the page title name. So for right now, that's all we're going to add to this page. We're going to go ahead and click Save. Once that updates, you'll notice that it's not over here in the sidebar. Well, that is because we turned off automatic navigation. So after you create a page, the thing that you need to do next is organize it in the sidebar. So we're going to go to More, and we're going to go to Edit Site Layout. We're going to click this sidebar element. We're going to go to Add Page. Here again, you can use the sitemap, and this will place your pages alphabetically in a list, or you can go to My Recent Changes, and biography should be right at the top of that list. Click Biography, click OK. You'll see it underneath Welcome, and that's where we want it, and we'll go ahead and click OK. You'll see it then add to the sidebar over here, and remember to exit the sidebar, you're going to click Close. Now you're going to continue adding pages until you get one section of your sidebar finished.